And we're live. Okay, hello. It has been a day or two since my last trading session. And since my last trading session, it has also been almost a month. Because December is just a busy period for me. And I just didn't have time to record this feedback. But that said, I'm very happy to say that it's finally clicked into my head. I feel like I know what I'm doing. It feels like I'm a good trader, and the results definitely are showing it. I can equate it to a feeling that there are some things that I've just clicked and other things that are clicking, but I'm not necessarily sure of the reason why yet. So there's still a few more tests that I want to do. Everything that I'm going to be talking about in this video is my demo accounts, just in case any strangers logging into this video. It's a demo account, but the principles are transferable over to the live. So because it's been so long, it's given me the time to really think about what I want to do and adjust. And at the same time, it's given me enough content for 2 videos because of what has happened after my most recent trading session. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the I Can Trade Now trading day. It was on the 20th of November. And in the next video, I'm going to be talking about what happened after that day. And a couple of ideas, a couple of occurrences, meetups, and essentially what's going to be happening next. So this one is going to be numbers heavy, but and I'm going to post all those numbers in the comments on the YouTube section. But I'm very happy. This particular trading day was an all-time career best day. It wasn't an incremental growth. It was everything I was before that day and now everything after that day. So let's go. On the 20th of November, I was trading the Dow Jones from 5:15 my time till about 9:15, which was about almost closing time as well of that particular market. So I traded for about 4 hours. The price per point that I was trading at was $1.60. Why that amount? Well, I have a spreadsheet and I've created that spreadsheet, and that spreadsheet is a capital risk management spreadsheet. It essentially says something along these lines. Let's say the broker, and the broker I use is a broker called Trade Nation. That's relevant for the second video. So let's say the broker, and I'm not saying that it does actually use this amount. It's just we're just making it simple. So let's say this imaginary broker uses a system where in order for you to trade $1, they require you to have $10 in your account. So what I did on my spreadsheet, I said whatever that amount is that is required on the account, I want to have times 3 of that. So for example, if they require $10 for you to trade at $1 per point, on my spreadsheet it will say that I need $30, 10 times 3. So why $1.60? Because the amounts that I have in my live account, which is around $920 in my live account, that amount, according to my spreadsheet at times 3, says that I can trade at $1.60 per point. So now you know the amount of money that I was trading at. Here's what I can tell you. As far as all-time bests, I put some notable highlights and you'll read them in the comments. I haven't put everything. So what do I mean? I haven't put the 50 cents wins, $2 wins, $3 losses. I haven't done those small ones. I've just done examples. And I've done, for the most part, most of the wins. The biggest thing that I was trying to do for that particular trading day, and essentially for all the trading days, I think since I've started this chapter of my YouTube channel, was try to figure out what to do when the market moves sideways. And today's particular trading day, or this particular trading day, was no different. However, when I looked at the numbers, and when I looked at the wins and I looked at the losses that I received as a result of trying to figure out the sideways moves, it actually came to a very simple conclusion. I just mustn't trade sideways anymore. It's stupid. It's just essentially, the numbers just showed me that I was just trigger happy. That's it. I enjoyed clicking the button, and I was too engrossed in the video game. But the money side of things would have actually followed if I'd genuinely just stopped trading sideways. And so that's a new rule. I'm not going to be trading sideways anymore, because on a 1 minute time frame, there really isn't all that much money to make anyway. So let's go over some of the big wins. I'll start from bottom up. Previously, before we do that, 2 other things of context. What are the metrics that I'm measuring? So depending on the metrics that you measure, that shows what you need to focus on to improve. So if you don't know your numbers, then you're just playing around. But if you know your numbers, and if you specifically target certain metrics to improve on, then you can at least track your performance. So what doesn't get measured doesn't improve. In other words, I'm tracking 2 metrics. The first one is, how much money do I make at the end of the day? Not how much money am I keeping, it's how much money am I making. Only as a result of doing that have I been able to figure out that actually, if I'd stopped doing the sideways moves, I would have been able to keep a lot of the stuff that I'm making, because my hit rate is actually pretty good. My ability to stop the trades when they're bad is pretty good now, as a result of this trading day. So that's the first one. How much money am I making in general? The second metric is, how many points am I able to ride the wave for without getting stopped out? And I've broke, in both instances, all-time highs. So we'll begin with $1.60 per point, and that's how much it stayed at, and we'll move up in terms of the amount of how do I put this? Points I was able to make per correct win. And I'm not just going to be talking about my wins here. I'm also going to be talking about my losses. Okay, so let's begin. There was a 2-point trade. That was fantastic. $3.50. 7-point trade. Fantastic. $12. 11-point. $18. 15-point. $24. Then it starts getting cool. Because previously, I'd make maybe a 20-point trade, and that would be my best trade ever for that particular session. My all-time best was 63 points in a move, but I broke that. So let's continue going up. There was then in this trading session, there was a 21-point trade, roughly, which was $32. There was another 21-point trade, roughly, that was $33. There was a 24-point trade, $37. There was a 27-point trade, $43. Now it starts getting cool. There was a 41-point trade, $65. There was a 47-point trade, $75. Then this is the first thing that I want to highlight. So keep in mind, up until now, in my previous trading sessions, I'd maybe be happy with just one of those 20-point moves, those 40-point moves, and that would be the highlight. But the fact that I'm getting a lot of them consistently in one trading session, I'm very happy with that. So here's the next up on that ladder of wins that I want to highlight. The first one is a 56-point, roughly, wave that I managed to catch. That was $90. The second one is a 58-point wave, which was roughly $93. Now, those two were the first time that I managed to stack a trade. I've never practiced stacking trades before until that particular one. And that one showed me that it can be done. I can do it. I just need more practice with it. So I'm very particularly happy with those 2 ones. But the ladder of wins is not done yet. I've got 2 more. Next trade, an 87-point wave that I managed to catch, $140. And finally, friends, my all-time best trade ever, a 98-point wave of $157. This is my ladder of wins so far. I calculated everything that I just told you. Now keep in mind, like I said, it's not all of my trades. I haven't included those like really small tiny ones. There weren't a lot of them, but I haven't included them. I have, however, and I'll be discussing this later in the video, I have, however, calculated that particular trading day. And with all of the losses that I made in that day and all of the wins that I made that day accurately. Just for the sake of this particular chapter of this video where I'm talking about the ladder of wins, there were just some that were so small that it was irrelevant. But as for the ones that I've mentioned, just those ones that I've mentioned, if I calculate all of those points that I was able to get correctly, it came to 515 points in a roughly 4-hour trading session. Again, that's an all-time best for me. And I'm very proud of myself for that. But we have to talk about the losses. As a result of that trading day, and more specifically as a result of the thought process that went into what I should do for managing my stops in the future, I was really good with some of the stops, but others I just wasn't good. They were hitting my stop losses, in some cases gapping and going because of slippage going beyond the stop loss. In some cases I did really stupid moves and I even moved the stop loss. I'm never going to do that again, ever. But the thought process that I've come out of with these particular losses has just made me so much better, I think, psychologically, of just getting out of the trade immediately as opposed to just waiting. And I came up with a psychological story that's helped me. And so this is something that I want to tweak further in my upcoming trading days. But so far, they've been good. So far. Let's come back to the particular trading day. And let's talk about these horrendous losses. There were 15 instances where I had losses that were going at, where the losses were 9 points. Those 9 points equated to around $15. And if I times that by the 15 instances that happened, that was $225 loss. The next one, because I've got another one. It's horrendous. Next one is there were 13 instances where the loss was at 15 points. Those 15 points equated to $24, and 24 times 13 instances is $312 loss. In total, $537 loss just in those instances. So that isn't everything. Like I said, in the losses, there were also like the small little ones that were just so minute. But what I can say is all of those particular losses were me trying to figure out the sideways moves. So let me break down and actually go to the sideways tests, because these are accurate. There were 3 tests that I did. Test 1, and pretty much all of them were losses, to be honest. And that's what made me realize, just stay out of sideways moves, especially on the 1-minute chart. It's just, so I guess I passed the test, just not in the way that I thought I would be passing it. Test 1, losses, $164.96. Test 2, loss, $205.28. Test 3, loss, $97.76. Regular losses that I'm happy with. So outside of the sideways move tests, my regular losses were $184.96. I'm happy with them, but I know that they can be improved. Again, because I just wasn't comfortable with hitting the stop loss. With hitting the stop before it got to my stop loss. So again, that's something that I'm psychologically ready for, but I still just need to test in action. In total, there was $468 loss just with those tests, those 3 tests. But if I add on the regular loss, then in total, the loss for that particular trading day was $652.96. It's a lot of numbers. Just go to the comments. It'll make a lot more sense. Or go to like the description of this video because all that information's there. So at the end of the day, these are my numbers. And this one of the metrics that I'm looking at. Have I made good money? So yes, I did. I made $922.40 as a win from just $1.60, from only stacking one trade, from not adjusting my trading size and position according to my spreadsheet, which I haven't talked about, which I'm not going to talk about either. But I'm happy with that. That's an all-time best for me. However, with the losses as a result of trying to figure out the sideways moves, that equated to $652.96. So even still, with those losses, I still ended up in a profitable day of $269.44 profit, which means that my account has now gone from whatever it was before to minus 1049.56. Again, it's a demo account. Again, the biggest takeaway from this was the sideways tests. If I just didn't trade sideways at all, I would have crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. And so that, as soon as that realization was there, it was clear as day. I'm never going to do sideways ever again, especially seeing as I'm a 1-minute trader. My 1-minute trading is good. Just need to mitigate the loss, and the loss is sideways. That's it. So now I'm just standing aside when it goes sideways, because there are so many opportunities during 1 hour on a 1-minute time frame, and it rarely goes sideways as well. Cool. So that was a long story. Here's the short story. What's working is my trading methodology and the things that I am putting onto my my chart. What am I using? 3 things. Heikin Ashi, a diagonal trend line from the most immediate red candle, and support and resistance lines through an indicator which is provided via my my brokerage. Those 3 things. Plus, I guess, my psychology, which I'll go over in a little bit in the second video. What did I learn as a bonus? Sideways, stand aside. What did I learn as a bonus? Hedging is fantastic. Hedging so hedging in terms of stacking my trades when I'm right, and hedging, which I haven't talked about because I still need to practice this, but basically I think I've figured out how to immediately change direction and mitigate a small loss as a result of, let's say if it's going up, one way of doing it is it goes up, I close the trade, and then I go short. So the other way, however, in the small time frame of indecision of when do I get out, when can I clearly see when it's going down, I'm losing a little bit of cash there. So one way is, instead of just exiting, is take a hedge position. So that way, whatever I might have lost in that indecision time, I've made in that hedge position, which is still in profit. Then I'm closing the long and my short is riding. So that's just an idea that I'm playing with and I'm happy with so far. I need more opportunities though to play that with that idea. Things I need to learn, or I need to sharpen the axe on for my next couple of trades. Like I said, hedging, the stacking, and cutting better. And that's it. It's a long video, but by far the best video from a trading profession career ever had. But that's not it, folks. That's not all. We ain't done yet. I've got another video for you. This is now following the 20th of November. The people I've met, the interactions I've had with those people, the small trading sessions I've had after that, and the continuous wins as a result. And then finally, what happens next? What did I learn and what happens next? See you in the next video.